Like you, I watch YouTube a lot, and by a lot, I mean every day. And I'm always seeing these videos containing handy little iPhone tips I wish I could remember. And the reason I don't remember them is because, I don't spend all day, every day on my iPhone. Anyway, I really do want to remember this stuff when they pop up, and to help me do that, I decided to make this video. Maybe you already know these tips but have forgotten them, or maybe they're all new to you. Either way, stick around for this short video to learn 7 handy iPhone tips. Hi, my name is Rich and I make easy to follow videos on how to use your iPhone and iPad. And if that's something that might interest you, please consider subscribing. We're growing. And besides, unlike the newspaper when you were a kid, subscribing to my channel, it's free. Okay, let's jump in. So first up are a couple of tips on Safari. If you open Safari and you're searching for a website, so in this case I'm going to search for the Bengals. And you pull up something on the web and you open a website. And now if you go to it, you can see that there's advertisements popping up all over the place. You have to wait for them to load, and then even as you scroll down, they show up down here. But if you go down here where the little A's are right there and you tap on that, you can tap on Show Reader View, and all of a sudden all of those ads are gone and you can just actually read the story. And look at that, look how short this story is. You would have scrolled forever to get to all of this because there were so many ads on it, but just being in Reader View takes that all away. And if you want to get back out of Reader View, you can just tap on the 2 little A's again and tap on Hide Reader, and now you're back to where all the ads are and all of this kind of stuff popping up all over the place. Sometimes I like to just send a website article to my daughter or my father or something like that. And a good way to do that, you can just tap right here where the website is listed, tap copy, and then go over to your website and you can just tap and paste and hit enter, and just like that the article is gone and you just copied it. And that's just a couple of little handy tips for Safari. Next tip is in Notes. I'm just going to show you something. If you open up a note and you've got some text in there and you need to correct something, if you just double tap on a word like that, it will select the word, and then you can go down here and you can type and you can correct the word, or you can copy it or whatever you want to do. But if you triple tap, you can select the whole paragraph, just like that. And of course you can then copy it and you can paste it somewhere else, just like this. And you've done that, or you can send it in a message or something like that. So again, double tap, one word, triple tap, the whole paragraph. Pretty simple, handy too. So this is a big one for me. I often am typing a text or typing a note, and then I go back and I read it and I've done something wrong, and so I want to put my cursor in there so that I can correct the word, and I can't quite get the stupid cursor to be where it needs to be. But I don't know if you know this, but if you tap and hold on the space bar like that, you can just begin to move that around anywhere you want and place it. It gets so easy, just like that. Again, tap and hold the space bar and just slide around, and then you can go in and make the correction, just like that, all by tapping on the space bar and holding. Man, I wish I could remember that. Another little tip that you might not know about is that you have the ability to mark up photographs. Sometimes I'll send a photograph and it'll have a whole bunch of stuff in it and I want my wife to just see part of it. And this is how this works. If you go into Photos, and I'm going to go to my albums and maybe favorites, and I'll open up this picture. So I was in Chicago recently and I took a picture looking down from the Sears Tower at the Hancock Tower right there, and I wanted to show my wife. Of course, she's not going to be able to pick out which is the Hancock Tower there, so I'm just going to go into Edit, and then wherever you see this little pencil marker right here, you can just tap on it, and I'm going to choose this pin right here, and then I'm going to come and circle the Hancock Tower, and I'm just going to hold it for a second, and it turns it into a circle. And you can draw an arrow like that and hold, and there you go. And then you can just click done and you can send it. Just an easy way to mark up a photograph. Here's one that's kind of handy. When you want to turn on the flashlight, you can just press and hold for Siri. Turn on the flashlight. And there you go, just like that. Hold again. Turn off the flashlight. And there you go. And that's a pretty cool little tip. That way, if you have it in your hand and you can just hold the side button and bring up Siri and ask for the flashlight rather than sliding all around and trying to get the flashlight turned on. Okay, the next tip is just a quick little tip on photos. If you open up Photos and you're looking at your library and you have lots of pictures in here and you're scrolling, and you want to get all the way to the beginning of your photos, if you just tap and touch the top, just like that, now you're all the way to the beginning of your photos. And I've got literally thousands in here. If you tap down at the bottom, you'll go all the way to the bottom. So I tapped on all photos there, and I tapped on top there, and all photos there, and it just takes you back and forth quickly. And that's a handy little tool when you're way up here and then you're wanting to show a photo that you've recently taken. Just tap on all photos, and now you're back to the beginning. That's just a handy little tip. I love the weather app, and there's all kinds of information in there, but there's some things that are kind of hidden. If you tap on weather and you bring up the weather, you can see the temperature and you get some information in here. But there's a little folded map icon down here. And if you tap on that little folded icon, suddenly you can get information. This is all about precipitation, and it's a live forecast going along here. And if you want to look at something besides precipitation, you can tap on this little stack of papers here and choose temperature. And now you're going to see what the temperature is all over, a temperature map. You can also go to air quality and see what the air quality is, and you can go to winds and see what the winds are and the directions that they're flowing. And all of that's kind of hidden inside the weather app. But if you're into weather, it's a cool little thing. All right, this last little tip is a bonus tip. If you're like me, when you want to close apps, you slide up from the bottom and then you begin just flicking them like this. But did you know that you can actually use 2 fingers or 3 fingers and swipe more? So you can take 2, close 2 apps at one time, or if you're dexterous enough, you can take 3 fingers and slide up like that. And now you can close apps a lot faster, just like that. How handy is that? So I knew about most of these tips. I'd just forgotten them because I don't use them often enough. I hope that making this video will help sear them into my brain. I hope it helps you remember too. Okay, that's a wrap on this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.